So as you can see, there's a new trailer out for the next Star Wars movie called The Rise of Skywalker, and I do not give a fuck. However, I do like mocking Star Wars these days. I mean, I was never a massive fan of it anyway. I mean, I appreciate it for what it was, but I was never a huge fan. Most of all, I enjoy the breakdowns that everyone does, and I enjoy doing them myself from time to time. So I figured that what I'd do is I'd watch these two 2-minute trailers and just go through and see how unbelievably shit they look. Because let's be honest, just judging by these fucking screenshots at the front, these look awful. So we begin with Mary Sue just sat in a desert, breathing heavily. And as you can see, she's drawn her lightsaber, there's a speeder coming, and Luke Skywalker is giving a narrative of how 1,000 generations live in her. They've passed on all they know, and man, I don't give a fuck. I know that whatever comes next, she just demolishes it. She can't lose. Every generation has a legend. Fucking cringe. Honestly, everything about Star Wars now is just cringe. Like, Mary Sue here is not a legend. She's insufferable and pointless. And I don't know why anyone watches this. And I just want to say, if a male character had as little character depth and development as this character had, I would think that character was shit as well. And apparently the thing that's coming towards her isn't some speeder, no, it looks like a TIE interceptor, or something akin to that, that's just going just above the ground, because why the fuck not? And of course she's going to destroy it with her lightsaber, I've got no doubt. Look at this fucking face. I can't take it seriously. I am so sorry, I just cannot take this character or actress seriously. So you don't get to see whether she actually chops this thing in half or not, which she undoubtedly does. We don't know who's flying it, but presumably it's Kylo Ren. But this is actually one of the least impressive things that... Oh god, what was her name? Mary Sue. I can't remember her real name, or character's name. This is one of the least impressive things that she's done. I mean, personally, I thought that flying the Millennium Falcon was pretty good. Fixing it was good. And also, shooting 3 TIE fighters with one shot as her first shot using the gun was pretty fucking impressive. This is exactly what just standard behavior for a Jedi. I'd expect every Jedi to be able to do this. CGI stuff. Honestly, I hate CGI now as well. I just have to say this. I'm just not impressed with CGI at all. It's everywhere and it all looks the same and I don't care. Oh, there's Kylo Ren killing someone for some reason, putting his mask back together for some reason. Like, why? The mask was gay, and that was actually part of the growth of his character. That was actually one of the good things about it. It's like, look, you LARPing as Darth Vader when you don't need... I mean, Darth Vader didn't want to wear a mask. He had to wear a goddamn mask. You LARPing as Darth Vader was cringe. And when you actually got called out on it and changed and had a bit of a hissy fit about it, it at least gave me some sense that the character was conflicted about something. Not putting the mask back together so you can pretend to be Darth Vader again is not cool. At least we know the gay lovers are back for this one. I think that was cute. I think that the fact that these guys had a bromance and that was being completely misinterpreted for a gay relationship is very progressive. And the thing is, these are the 2 of the characters I actually liked. I'm also so glad that the metal testicle is back. I love that they have the guy who played Lando Calrissian in this. It's just not in a good way. It's just, you may as fucking well. You've had all of the other old actors in it. You may as well bring them all back. Because why not? Just fuck it. It's nostalgia, isn't it? You recognise this guy, even though he's like a grandfather or whatever now. Oh, thank God. The only thing that I'll be disappointed about is the fact that I'll have to watch people deconstructing other movies than Star Wars. Pointless Action and C-3PO, and I can't even see who that is. I just don't care. The music to this is epic. It's being presented as if it's amazing, and I'm just like, I may as well be watching Home and Away. Ah, yes, the mother-daughter story where Carrie Fisher, who is dead, is playing one of the few remaining alive characters from the original trilogy, and apparently, she has an amazing relationship with Rey. Oh, I remember the name. Because why? I mean, this is never really built up, but trust us, just like everything else, we will just tell, not show. And here we have a look at the main cast, and I noticed that, look how amazingly clean they look as well, straight out of the costume department, incredibly convincing. Is that the Death Star, or a Death Star? Just what other Star Wars nostalgia can they just drag up from the depths? I mean, it really, honestly, if you like this franchise, I am so fucking sorry. Because at the end of this, they just drag up the Emperor, or what I assume is the Emperor. But to be honest with you, I'm so used to listening to the guys from Red Letter Media doing the Emperor voice that I think they actually do a better job of it now. How can the rise of something come at the end of the series? That's supposed to come at the beginning of the series. But don't worry, let's just go on to the fucking second trailer. Love it. Immediately begins with nostalgia. Shamelessly. As if this is some contiguous story that reaches back right to the beginning, to the 70s. I mean, George Lucas has already admitted he didn't have a grand plan. Like, this is not a long, plotted, like, well thought out thing. And then George Lucas admitted it. And then J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, he admitted that there was no continuity and that Rian Johnson could basically do what the fuck he liked, which is why he threw out everything J.J. Abrams had done and essentially retconned his own series on the second bloody episode of the new one. But it doesn't matter. Let's pretend like this is contiguous. Shoot me in the face, honestly. Fucking wow, remember all this stuff you liked? Do you remember? Does it make you like our new movie? The answer is no. Of course no. Remember how we did this character such a service? It gave him a just send-off. It was the right way for Han Solo to leave, to have Kylo Ren murder him for no reason. Remember how you felt at the end of the Star Wars trilogy? Remember this Nazi imagery? Oh, wait, no, scrap that. Remember this cool battle on Hoth? Remember Darth Vader? Remember Boba Fett? Remember this romantic scene? Remember one of the most gripping twists in all of cinema history? Remember Yoda when he wasn't annoying? No, wait. He was always annoying. Remember when Star Wars didn't suck? And as if on cue, we get to the part where Star Wars begins to suck. But again, like, the prequels were so much better than the shit they're pumping out now. I'm at the point where I kind of miss the prequels. At least it was a new story, new characters, world building. It was dumb, it was poorly done, it was boring to sit through these fucking plenary sessions in the Senate. But at least it was something new, and this is an innovation. Look at that. Darth Maul's got a double-ended lightsaber. He was a cool character-ish. At least it was something new. Remember when they used to do something new? Remember Qui-Gon Jinn? He was pretty cool. Remember hating sand? It's coarse and irritating. It gets everywhere. Remember Mace Windu? The guy with the purple lightsaber? That was cool. He died as well. Remember this being a kid's movie? Oh, and now we get to the new stuff. Remember the worst reunion of characters that is possible to imagine? So far, we're halfway through the trailer, and we haven't seen anything new yet. We're about to see the new stuff. Woo. Don't care. There's nothing awe-inspiring or majestic about CGI scene anymore. I'm sorry, there just isn't. I know that this was just a battery of computers and a legion of computer animators who made this. So I don't and this isn't even an impressive scene anyway. It's like some shanty town. I'm guessing this is like the new Resistance, because if I recall correctly, after the end of the last film, the Resistance had been fucking wiped out. The Empire had won, and everyone was like, well, maybe one day a new resistance to the Empire will arise. But to be honest with you, at this point, I'm kind of rooting for the space Nazis. I don't even care. Like, I'm really sick of the Resistance. They clearly are not fit to rule anyway. If the space Nazis can somehow pop up out of nowhere with legions of stormtroopers, entire armadas of fucking ships, and a new, bigger, better Death Star than they had before, then these guys are fucking incompetent. And at the end of, like, when they're fighting them, where was their fleet? It was a tiny, tiny, like, residual rump of a force that got easily overwhelmed by the First Order, which is a name I hate, because it's not the First Order, it's the second one, at the very least. But anyway, let's carry on. I don't know if it's just me, but it just feels disrespectful to CGI in a dead woman. It just feels disrespectful to me. The story of a generation. Talk about talking yourself up. Ooh, look, it's the old ships, because the ships that Rian Johnson made were awful. I mean, that looks like, I don't know, A-Wings, Y-Wings, X-Wings, and B-Wings. Is that the Millennium Falcon as well? But, I mean, where did they get these from? Did they not remember that at the end of the bloody last film, the entire The entire rebellion had been crushed again. Holy fuck. Where do they get the resources for this? Where do they get the resources for what looks like, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of Death Stars, Star Destroyers? What's the point? Like, it's meant to be intimidating. It's an intimidating ship. It's meant to be like, you know, flagships for the Empire. And if you just like, well, we've just got hundreds of them, if not thousands of them now, because fuck you, that's why. It's like, why don't we just have hundreds of Death Stars instead? Oh no, you tried that already. You tried the bigger, badder Death Star, and that sucked. So, fine, fuck it. I mean, like, where is the manufacturing capacity of this coming from? How can they afford it? Why? That's just the eternal question, why, and it's never going to be answered. There are lots of big promises made in this trailer. I love it. Evil C-3PO. C-3PO decides to get really fucking stoned. I don't know, I guess I'm supposed to be impressed. I'm sorry. CGI explosions. Rey being amazing with her lightsaber, if you can believe it. Did they learn nothing from the prequels? Like, the third one, I can't remember the name of it now, but when they're fighting in the lava-filled, like, crashing industrial bloody factory, and it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, when Luke Skywalker encounters Darth Vader, it's just on, like, the Emperor's Bridge area. It's not massively impressive, highly dangerous. It's a fight that's laden with meaning. There is passion behind it. This just feels like the end of the prequels. It just feels like the end of the prequels. It just looks stupid, pointless, and okay, fine. Just fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. Oh god. Just a double lightsaber. Rey's fallen to the dark side. But you know what I was saying? How they don't have any new ideas? Everything is just a rehash of a rehash of a rehash now. I mean, this is why the prequels were at least better than these new ones. Oh yeah, she's just Darth Maul. But instead, the innovation here is that it's got some kind of nunchuck-like ability, which is totally what you'd do with laser swords that can cut through steel. Right? You'd swing them around just like nunchucks. Fuck it. Why not? I mean, that must have cut through the floor when she did that, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, this looks shit. This looks like such unbelievable ass. I can't wait for my favourite film critics to just shred it. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to get so many hours of content from people for free for them making this film for hundreds of millions of dollars. So I guess, thanks very much, Disney.